that's going to make your life easier and protect your shoreline and look good. What's going to increase the value? Are you going to sell the place down the road? Are you looking for wow factor or functionability? A lot of people now really want access to the water easily and being able to remove their boat lifts, their docks, their jet ski lifts, all those things, and just making life easier for them. If the grandkids are coming over, what's something they can walk down easily without falling and getting hurt, and just get into the water.
Just like that.
Yeah, the erosion control is the biggest thing. You've always got to have silt fence up, so sediment's not washing into the waterways. And that's one of their biggest things. As long as you're working within their guidelines, they're happy to see you, make that property look the way you want it to, and you're going to enjoy it for years to come. Normally, I like to work with arbor stone. It holds up better. It goes together so well, and the look. It's just there's no look quite like it. And each shoreline, each project's different. You can take the same dimensions for 5 properties in a row, and you could either make it all one straight wall and look like it was manufactured, or each one could be individual from the other and totally different and still really amazing to look at and still functional. The conservation doesn't particularly like concrete walls anymore, or they used to use a gabion basket. Both I've seen within 10 years time, they're falling apart. Not that it was bad workmanship or anything, just wear and tear from Mother Nature. They don't seem to hold up. Where if you're using 1-ton sized pieces of solid limestone, put in properly, everything compacted in behind, it's not going anywhere. We'll guarantee our work, it's not going to move. So armor stone is large pieces of stone that's come from the ground. Quite often you'll see it on transports going down the highway, 20, 40, 60 of them on a flatbed trailer, strapped down. You can get it in various sizes. A lot of the stuff I work with on the shorelines weighs in between half to a full ton to even 1.5 tons. So sometimes it requires quite large equipment to move it around, but it definitely stays put and doesn't go anywhere, and just looks amazing when it's all done. Yeah, so I'm getting all of mine, for the most part, from Upper Canada Stone. Their closest quarry is in Madoc. And the nice thing about it is they have different color variations in there. You can get a chocolate, you can get a gray, and then they have a couple different blends where the chocolate and gray, where they've actually got one, they call it a yellow, but it's more of a rust tinge to the color of the stone. And I've seen where we've even put different colors in the walls to accent with colors on the property. It's not very often. Usually people want to go with one colored stone wall and staircase and things like that. But the odd person, give it a pinstripe, and it really comes out pretty cool looking. So I'm like a kid in a candy store. I go in the quarry and I'm going, yeah, that one, and I'll take that, and I'll take those, and let's get a truck in here, let's go.
Right.
So when I quote a job, I quote the whole job. The shoreline, I don't leave with the shoreline looking pretty and then a set of ruts up your lawn. So anywhere we're doing the work, everything goes back. New topsoil, if we had to take out a walkway, say, or something to get where we gotta go, it goes back. It's all included. And then basically, with the grass, it comes down to, would you prefer seed or sod? Some people don't, sod, if you don't water, it's gonna look terrible within a day, and you have to keep on it. So some people prefer seed, so it'll blend a lot more naturally to the lawn that's already there. So yeah, when we're done, it's cleaned up just as good, if not better. Well, the shoreline's better, but as far as any damage to the rest of the property, everything's put back to the way it was, if not better. The biggest thing is, like I say, the paperwork. It can seem pretty overwhelming, and a lot of people get frustrated and give up on it. I do it all the time. So, sit down, fill out the paperwork, as long as I've got all the right information, contact information, the addresses and all that. Do a SketchUp, get it in, get a site visit booked, because they do get busy, especially come mid-March to say middle of July. You're really hard pressed to get a site visit within a couple of weeks. They're with the flooding going on usually every year and everything else. Conservation Authority just doesn't have the manpower, and you really need to have the site visit. They actually require it on every job now. We can take care of all the permits myself. Some sketches, design work, planning everything ahead. It's always with the permit application, you have to submit a sketch anyway. So, for us to take care of doing the sketching, all the designing, the permits, the site visits, and everything, it really makes it a lot easier. In the application, they're gonna want to know biggest thing is the address, the body of water. So your lot and concession, everybody goes by the fire number now, but they still need to know the old lot and concession numbers, the township, all that jazz, what body of water, and then overall what your plans are. And I always approach it with, here's what we were thinking, here's what we'd like to do, but what will the Conservation Authority permit? What will they allow? And basically, as long as you don't want to add land into the water, they will always let you preserve what you have. So if you're willing to dig back into the bank a little bit to make it pretty and stable, there's no reason for you not to be allowed to do the work. In most cases, the permits are $300 to $500, so it's really not that bad. Versus if you went ahead and did the work, and I will not, without the permit, the fines are 10, 20, 30,000 and up. So it's worth doing a little bit of paperwork. Everybody assumes that the Conservation Authority is out to stop you, and they're not. They just want to make sure everybody's playing by the rules. It's actually quite an easy process. I've been doing this 10 years, and like I say, working with them, I take the approach of, here's what we want, what will you allow, what will you permit, and that's what we're going to do. And like I say, they've never come back and said, no, you can't improve this place. As long as you stay within what you say you're going to do, they have no problems. You pay your permit fees and away you go. I've had them come back quite a few times partway through a job just to snap some pictures, just to see how it's going. They were nearby looking at something else. They're curious. They like to see it being done properly. So you don't have to be there. You can be there. The homeowner can totally be there. I always want to be there. Even if the homeowner is doing the permits and everything themselves, I always want to be at the site visit, just so everybody's clear. That way nothing gets lost in translation between conservation, the homeowner, and myself. And sometimes the homeowner can't quite explain to the conservation exactly what it is we're going to do. So a lot of times it's just easier if I'm talking directly with the conservation officer and vice versa. I try to stay within an hour from the Napanee area. I don't like to go in on other people's turf, I guess, as you would say. I'm not looking to step on anybody's toes, take over an area or whatever. But like tomorrow I'll be going out to Prince Edward County to look at a job. I've got jobs in Cloyne, north of Kingston on Lowbro Lake. We've done some work. So, I get around quite a bit. Obviously, closer to home's nicer because I get to be home a bit earlier, but or help out a little bit. But